संकीर्तन की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Ruttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. So we are reading from Canto 4, Chapter 23. Prithu Maharaj is going back home, back to Godhead. Shloka number 18. Tam sarva guna vinyasam jive maya mayenyadat tam chanushayam atmastam asav anushayi puman jnana vairagya viryena swarupasto jahat prabhu tam sarva guna vinyasam jive maya mayenyadat tam chanushayam atmastam asavanusayi puman jnana vairagya viryena swarupasto jahat prabhu tam sarva guna vinyasam jive maya mayenyadat tam chanushayam atmastam asavanusayi puman jnana vairagya viryena swarupasto jahat prabhu tam sarva guna vinyasam jive maya mayenyadat chanushayam atmastam asavanusayi puman jnana vairagya viryena swarupasto jahat prabhu
tam sarva guna
vinyasam jive maya mayenyadat tam chanusayam atmastam asavanusayi puman jnana vairagya viryena swarupasto jahat prabhu tam sarva guna vinyasam jive maya mayenyadat tam chanushayam atmastam asavanusayi puman jnana vairagya viryena swarupasto jahat prabhu tam sarva guna vinyasam jive maya mayenyadat tam chanushayam atmastam asavanusayi puman jnana vairagya viryena swarupasto jahat prabhu. What meaning? Tam, unto him, sarva guna vinyasam, the reservoir of all qualities, jive, unto the designations, maya maye, the reservoir of all potencies, nyadat, placed, tam, that, cha, also, anushayam, designation, Atmastam, situated in self-realization, Asau, he, Anushayi, the living entity, Puman, the enjoyer, Jnana, knowledge, Vairagya, renunciation, Viryena, by the prowess of, Swarupastaha, the being situated in one's constitutional position, Ajahat, returned home, Prabhu, the controller. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Prithu Maharaj then offered the total designation of the living entity unto the supreme controller of illusory energy, being released from all designations by which the living entity become entrapped. He become free by knowledge and renunciation, and by the spiritual force of his devotional service. In this way, being situated in his original constitutional position of Krishna consciousness, he gave up this body as Prabhu, or the controller of the senses. Okay, so this purport is like little big, so we will read and discuss as we go. So we will offer our Mangala Charan prayers now. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurun Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So here we are in the section where Prithu Maharaj is preparing to go back to Godhead. And in this section it is nicely explained about how Prithu Maharaj is gradually disintegrating his material coverings, and then giving up his material designations and coverings, and then he's as a purified soul, he's going back to the spiritual world. So here one word is used, Jive Maya Maye Nyadat. So here I was hearing one Prabhupada's class, so he was mentioning that this Jiva is a word used only for conditioned souls, not for liberated souls. So Jiva means not just any living entity. Jiva means a living entity who is conditioned. And here Prabhupada is translating this word Jive to unto the designations. Jive means like unto the designations. So it is a living entity who is conditioned. For him this this particular terminology is used. So we'll read the purport. As stated in the Vedas, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the source of all material energy. Consequently, he is sometimes called Maya Maya, or the Supreme Person, who can create his pastimes through his potency known as the material energy. So this is many spiritual organizations, so they don't understand this point. So some of the spiritual organizations say that this material energy is mithya. No, there is nothing matter is there. And some of the people, they say that no, it is spiritual means something that is there in the spiritual world. So this material world is useless, or this material world is not very good, and no, spiritual world is all in all, like no, that's where like we have to be there, and things like that. So but advanced devotees, no, their viewpoint is that everything that exists is connected to Krishna. So everything, no, is able to give remembrance to Krishna. So that's why this that shloka it says that Vishwam Purna Sukayate Vidhi Mahindra Dishtaki. So this, that is also there, and then Stavara Jangama Deke Na Deke Taramurti. So that is also there, and Vasudevam Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. So to understand, no, Krishna and the Lord to be the Lord is one thing. To understand everything that exists is not just the Lord, is really really very advanced stage of devotional service. And here we see that particular thing is mentioned, that Maya, or the Supreme Person, he is capable of creating his pastimes through the material energy. So that is something that not all spiritual organizations or not all philosophies take note of it. So in one lecture, Prabhupada was mentioning that it is not that the Lord is only the Bhagavan. No, that is incomplete. So Lord is Bhagavan and Brahman and Paramatma. That is complete. So everything, like Lord is everything. It is not that, like these people say only Brahman. No, they are incomplete. And some people say only Paramatma. That is also incomplete. No, like we accept Lord as everything in whole. And then why, and also the Brahman aspect, generally we criticize people like who are aspiring towards Brahman, Brahma Jyoti. So in this lecture, Prabhupada was mentioning a complete different angle to it. So there are people who are aspiring towards liberation in Brahma Jyoti or merging in Brahman existence, and you see the mercy of our Lord. No, he's giving an opportunity. Okay, you want that? No, I'll create no space for you. So, like, we can actually understand the mercy, unlimited mercy of the Lord. Whatever you ask for, he is creating this one for it. So, if somebody wants bhukti, he is creating. Somebody wants siddhi, he is creating. And somebody wants moksha, he is creating an avenue for that. And somebody wants to enjoy pastimes with him, he is creating facility for that. So, anything and everything. So, it's like really very difficult to get a person like that. And so we want to surrender to that personality and do whatever he wants, anything and everything he wants. Why to that person we want to reciprocate like that? Because he is ready to do anything and everything to everyone. And he's already been demonstrating that he's willing to do anything and everything to everyone. So then there is, why not we surrender to him and do anything and everything that he wants? So that's the appropriate way of reciprocation towards the Supreme Lord. Right? So here we see that the jiva, the individual living entity, becomes entrapped by the material energy, by the supreme will of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is one statement which always puzzled me, especially when I read in the Jaladuta prayers, when Prabhupada says that, it is only by your will all these people have come in under the control of material energy. And if you wish, all of them can be released. So, that was like a big puzzle for me, and it kind of bounced off all my understanding in Krishna consciousness when I first read that. So, it was like all that I understood was, we did a mistake, and then if we become okay, we can go back. Right? So here Prabhupada is telling that it is by your will that they have come. That means like wahi dawa ke idhar bheja hai humko. So that is a very puzzling kind of a statement. So but we have to understand the overall picture. So we wanted to enjoy separate from Lord. So we wanted to enjoy separate from Lord. That is not sufficient enough. For us to come to the material world. The Lord has to allow us. The Lord has to will. Without the sanction of the Lord, not even a blade of grass can move. The Lord has to will, the Lord has to sanction, and Lord has to create all the arrangement. Otherwise, where is the material world for the living entity to come? There is no place only to come. So the Lord has to create everything. Lord has to, it is His will is the ultimate central point of everything. So even the living entity wanting to enjoy separate from Lord, the Lord also has to will, okay, fine, you enjoy. So otherwise it is not possible. So if the Lord is not willing, it is not possible. And if we want to go back to the spiritual world, we can say like we want to go back to the spiritual world. The Lord has to will. The Lord has to take the choice, saying that okay, fine, no, he can go back to the spiritual world. Otherwise, no, we cannot go back to the spiritual world. So that is why everything is by the grace of the Lord. No, we are getting material enjoyment, it is by the grace of the Lord. If we are getting no spiritual enjoyment, that is also by the grace of the Lord. So everything is by the grace of the Lord. So intelligent people who understand this, no, they go to offer prayers to the Lord. So like otherwise, no, other spiritual processes, so they actually keep their no head high, saying that no, why I have to beg from anyone? No, I have my capacity. I will do like no everything nicely, and I will attain no whatever needs to be attained. I will attain. So they don't know the real way in which the whole no the everything is organized and everything is working around. So they think that no, if I do this, the Lord is duty bound to give. Just like Krishna tells just before the Govardhan Lila, Karma Mimansa philosophy. No, why are you offering puja to Indra? No, like he has to give. No, if you do your work, he has to give the results. No, there is no point in offering this puja and things like that. So that is, yeah, to some extent it is correct. The Karma Kanda section of the this one is prepared in such a way because people want no such a this one. People want to have that no, I am the doer. So Lord is giving, okay, fine, no, I'll give some procedures. You do this like you are the doer. So no, based on your actions, you will get your reactions and things like that. So, but then that is very limited, and that is kind of a short visioned kind of a this one. This is the greatness of the Lord that He is agreeing to no, he's putting his energies in place and says that okay, if this guy says something, no, you follow. No, like that. No, he's just allowing it to happen. So, but then actually speaking, it is will of the Lord that matters the most. So the people who rightfully understand that the grace of the Lord is a source of everything that is there. No, grace of the Lord is what matters in every sphere of life. So they just simply go and surrender to the Lord and beg for the grace of the Lord. So because if this person no takes any decision, it is going to work. No, so then they no leave aside everything else. No, what is the point of doing this ritual, that ritual, and things like that? Better go to the Supreme Lord and offer prayers to Him. No, if He decides, then everything is done. No, so then what's the point of doing anything else in this world? So that is where the Vasudevam Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. So that personality, that Mahatma who goes and takes exclusive shelter of the Supreme Lord is very, very rare. No, otherwise like right from very, very shallow shelter, like no shelter of a job or a insurance or family members and things like that, to greater shelters like one's own capacity of intelligence, one's own capacity of bodily strength, one's own fame, name and fame and things like that, and no support of the demigods, no support of many great personalities and things like that. So people keep switching like that. And in the Bali Maharaj's pastime, so that point was very, very like it struck to me like anything, that Bali Maharaj was dead. No, he was chopped off. His head was chopped off, and he was fallen dead in the this one battlefield. And Sukracharya actually connected the head back to the body, and by his by his tapobal, he brought him back to life. So it is like you can imagine like somebody has given you life. There is nothing that you can do. Like you have to be eternally grateful to him. Somebody was given life to you, and such Sukracharya is telling that no, you don't surrender to Vishnu. And Bali Maharaj says like, no, nothing doing. I'm going to surrender to Vishnu. So that is a very amazing point. So wherever like many times like our people say, one time one person was telling that because of this Baba, like I got my first child, I was not conceiving only, like this Baba's blessings, I got this, and that Baba's blessings I got something and things like that. So this kind of miracle that has happened in my life, so I have to dedicate myself to this person and things like, how can I give up that person? So Bali Maharaj's example is there. He has given life, so like gala kaat diya gaya, like and then he was given life back. And he's telling that if you are coming on the way of surrendering to Vishnu, whoever you may be, whatever you may have given to me, that's all. Like, I am just renouncing you. finished. So that's the very, very important point, that we have to take shelter of Krishna, because we cannot compare what Krishna has given to somebody like who has given 1 rupee donation. So where is that? And somebody was giving us like the air to breathe at every moment, the food to eat at every moment, and who's there sitting in our heart, listening to all our desires, eko bahunamya vidadati kaman, and fulfilling all our desires since time immemorial. How much we have to do to him. Some Baba has given one child, and and he wants to claim the whole life. What is the point? This is so that way, like we have to be very, very this one very particular about the taking shelter of the Supreme Lord. So no one else is that kind of a person who can actually give complete shelter to the living entity. So then in Bhagavad Gita 1861, we understand Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Hridadesh Arjuna Tishtati Brahmayan Sarva Bhutani Yantra Rudani Mayaya. Ishvara, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is situated within the heart of all conditioned souls, and by His supreme will, the living entity or individual soul gets the facility to lord it over material nature in various types of bodies, which are known as yantra, or the moving vehicle offered by the total material energy or Maya. So whenever we read these statements, we have to actually see the mercy of the Lord, that if anybody would have come and told us that, no, I don't want to be with you, I want to be separate from you, and say like, no, get lost. That's all. No more caring for them, no more doing anything for them. No, if you don't want to be with me and listen to me, then what's the point? Like, no, just get lost. So, but here the Lord is, what He's doing. No, okay, you want to do something else? No, what you want to do? I will give a body for you, and I'll come and stay with you. And in that place, like, you may not know what needs to be done, what should not be done. So I'll come with you and I'll direct the wanderings of all the living entities. So if Lord would have just put all the living entities in one place without any direction, it will be like a traffic signal without a policeman. So completely chaotic, right? If the Lord is there, then also it is so chaotic. Lord is not there. So first of all, philosophically, it is not possible. If Lord is not there, all of us are dead. So if Lord chooses that I don't want to be a Paramatma in this person's heart, so then we are just dead. So there is no consciousness, there is no activity in the whole world. So the Lord is so merciful. Now, whenever we, before I used to read material things, like all this, the way the material world is arranged and things like that, I used to think like, no, what is this? No, this is not like so interesting, this one, and it's all philosophy and things. Thoda sa philosophy acha bhi lagta hai, but then it also, like, sometimes too much of philosophy becomes little dry. So but then if we can see the mercy aspect of the Lord, so we can actually see the Bhagavan feature of the Lord in this. So we can actually see how merciful the Lord is, how caring the Lord is for each and every living entity. Even if he wants to be separate from him, he is making so much arrangement that whatever the whims and wills of this living entity is there, that has been fulfilled by the Lord. Although the individual living entity Jiva and the Lord are both situated in the material energy, the Lord is directing the movements of the Jiva soul by offering him different types of bodies through material energy, and thus the living entity is wandering throughout the universe in various forms of body and becomes implicated in different situations, partaking of the reactions of the fruitive activities. So this is, what is it, Sloka? It says, witness and...
Anumanta Upadrisha.
And then? Bharta, Bhokta, Manishana, something like that it comes. So it's like Anumanta Upadrisha, like he is the permitter, Anumanta, and Upadrisha is the overseer, and Bharta means the maintainer of the living entity, and Bhokta means the enjoyer of everything. So it is mentioned in one lecture, Prabhupada was mentioning, if we are seeing something, first it has to be seen by the Lord. Then the Lord has to give us that, you are seeing this. He has to give us that, idea that, okay, you are seeing this only. Like that. So it is anything that we have to experience in this world, it has to be through the Lord. The Lord has to perceive it, and Lord has to give us the understanding, like, this is what you are going through. And then only we can understand this is what I am going through. So foolish people, they go to the Lord and say like, no, do you know what I'm going through? You know? So it is like, first the Lord has to go through, then only we can understand, no, what we are going through. Otherwise, no, we cannot even understand. So, no, Bharta Bhokta Manishina. So like, it's like very, very, what is that? In one lecture I was hearing that Lord is, no, we cannot estimate the Lord's love towards a living entity. So if a mother's love towards a living entity is it has a particular kind of a flavor, right? And the father's love to a living entity or a son, it has a different kind of a flavor. And grandfather's love, it has a different kind of a flavor. And Krishna gives all these flavors, to the living entity. No, he cares just like the mother. No, mother actually creates the body of the child from her own body. Sharing the ingredients from her own body, she creates. And that's how the living entities are. Like, they are also spirit, just like the Supreme Lord. And even in the material world also, like, the Lord creates out of his own energy. Like, he creates the material bodies. And then, he comes as, just like the father, he comes and gives instructions. And just like the mother, he takes care of all the subtle desires that we have. Right? And then different ways, like the Lord actually takes care of the living entity in all possible ways. And one important thing that we have to see here is the Lord and the living entity both existing in the material world. So one is existing as the master of the material world, another is existing as being controlled by the material energy. So this is the difference. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo vitititvatah yaktva jeham punarjanma naiti mamiti so Arjuna. So to understand that the Lord exists as the master of everything that exists. So then, that is a source of liberation, for living entity. When Prithu Maharaj becomes spiritually powerful by enhancement of spiritual knowledge, that is jnana and renunciation of material desires, he becomes a Prabhu or master of his senses, sometimes called Goswami or Swami. This is also another point which made a bouncer for me in the beginning. When I read that famous set of slokas which Prabhupada quotes in the Jaladuta prayers, that Drishta eva atmanishvare. So it ends with the whole series ends with this with this sloka. So that evam prasanna manaso bhagavat bhakti yogataha bhagavat tattva vijnanam mukta sangasya jayate. And then the next sloka, it ends with this, like Drishta eva atmanishvare. In the purified state, when all the mala is gone and a person is completely situated in mode of goodness, and at that time he sees the self as the master. Like I was like, all this while, like people are telling, no, you have to become dasa, dasa and das, and then suddenly like here there is a bouncer. To see the self as the master. So then like I was very much struggling with that idea. So here we can see Prabhupada is very nicely putting it. So one has to become the master of the senses. He should not become the Godasa, he should become the Goswami or the master of the senses. So it's like there is something that has been given to us for engaging in the higher service, engaging in the service of the Lord. But then if we become servant of those senses, it's like a servant we have kept a servant at home, for doing some work. And the servant comes and says that, no, sir, Raj, I want this tomorrow, like, you make me make a paneer feast, I'm like, I want to, I would like to have the, paneer sabji. And then, then the servant keeps on giving list, day after tomorrow, you should see, like, every day I'm coming home, like, why you are keeping everything dirty, like, you should clean it properly. and the servant starts ordering the master, then how it will be? That is a condition of material existence where the senses and the material energy, that are meant to be used in the service of the Lord. So rather than that, like, the material senses have started dictating. You do this to me, you do that to me. As if like we are living only for eating, we are living only for seeing beautiful things. We are living only for hearing, nice things. So everything, the senses takes control and the senses dictates. So that nice sloka Prabhupada often quotes, Kamadinam katina katita palita durnideshas tesham jatamayi na karuna na tripa na pashanti uchrajjaita nata yatupate samprutam labda buddhis tvamayatam sharanam abhayam mam ningshvatmadashe. So he says that this Kamadinam, so all this kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada and matsarya, all these things, they have been my masters. and I have rendered unconditional service to them, and they have never been pleased with me. No, I have done so much of service to them. They have never been pleased with me. They have never told that, oh, you have done so wonderful service, like now you can take a break. No, they have never told like that. They have only been like, no, asking for more and more and more and more. Always they have been asking for more. And then, no, recently I became attracted to that Utsra Jaitan Ata Yadupate Samprutam Labda Buddhist. No, very recently I have got this realization of surrendering to the Supreme Lord and serving the Supreme Lord. No Tvamayatam no Tvamayatam Sharanam Abhayam Mam Ningshvatmadashe. So now I just want to surrender to the Supreme Lord. No, I don't want to serve these wicked masters. Right? So that's this one. So a living entity has to become a Prabhu, has to become master of the senses, has to become master of all that is offered to him, for the service of the Lord, and he has to engage them in the service of the Lord. He cannot just listen to what the senses are saying. No, they are very, very, very dangerous entities, right? So the mind and the senses, materially contaminated mind and senses are designed for sense gratification, and we cannot hear to the dictations of the mind and senses. We have to actually chastise them, and then just like a Prabhu, just like a master, we have to chastise them. We know, like all of us have seen, like how in homes, like people take service from the maids, So they'll say, hey, karke jao. Without doing this, you're going like that. So in that way, like, we have to, be very, very strict with the mind and the senses. So in that way, like this word Prabhu applies in that context. When one is strong enough to give up the influence of material energy, he is called Prabhu. In this verse, the word Swarupastaha is also very significant. The real identity of individual soul lies in understanding or attaining the knowledge that he is eternally a servant of Krishna. This understanding is called Swarupopalabdhi. By culturing devotional service, the devotee gradually comes to understand his actual relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This understanding of one's pure spiritual position is called Swarupopalabdhi. And when one attains the stage, that stage, he can understand how he is related to the Supreme Personality of Godhead as a servant or a friend or as a parent or a conjugal lover. This stage of understanding is called Swarupastaha. Prithu Maharaj realized this Swarupa completely, and it will be clear in the later verses that he personally left this world or his body by riding on a chariot sent from Vaikuntha. Okay, so very big. So here we see that Swarupopalabdhi, like I fondly remember one time I was just sitting in our old Godrum base, and early morning I was chanting, looking through a window. The window was completely dark, nothing was visible. So, and as I was chanting, the sun was like becoming more it's coming up. And as the sun kept on racing, the rays of the sun started coming in. And where I was seeing, there was a nice rose plant, and next to that a car also was there. So, initially when I was seeing the window and chanting, only dark, black, pitch dark, this one was there. And then as the sun kept on racing, so like dire some blur image, and then little more clarity. And finally, like at one point when the sun is completely up, probably at 6 o'clock, 6:15, so I could able to clearly see all the objects which are there. So that is how our spiritual position is still, even now we have our spiritual position. Even now everything in the spiritual world, everything can be seen, but then due to ignorance, everything is completely dark. Over there. As we keep on chanting, as the holy name keeps rising, in its horizon, so then gradually all the spiritual objects will become clear, and we will be able to see the Swarupopalabdhi happens, right? So this particular phenomena actually happens. In this verse, the word Prabhu is also significant, as stated before. When one is completely self-realized and acts according to that position, he can be called Prabhu. The spiritual master is addressed as Prabhupada because he is completely self-realized soul. The word Pada means position, and Prabhupada indicates that he is given the position of Prabhu or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, for he acts on behalf of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Unless one is a Prabhu or a controller of senses, he cannot act as spiritual master who is authorized by the Supreme Prabhu or Lord Krishna. In this verse, praising the spiritual master, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes, Saksha Dharitvena Samasta Shastrer Uktas Tata Bhav Yatayeva Sadbihi. The spiritual master is honored as much as the Supreme Lord because he is the most confidential servitor of the Lord. The Prithu Maharaj, thus Prithu Maharaj can also be called Prabhupada or as described here in Prabhu. Now, another question may be raised in this connection. Since Prithu Maharaj was a power incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shaktyavesh Avatar, why did he have to execute the regulative principles in order to become a Prabhu? Because he appeared on this earth as an ideal king, and because it is the duty of the king to instruct the citizens in execution of devotional service, he followed all the regulative principles of devotional service in order to teach others. So this is similarly, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, although Krishna himself taught us how to approach Krishna as a devotee, it is said, Apani Achari Bhakti Shikayinu Sabare. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed others in the process of devotional service by setting the example himself through his own personal actions. Right? So, in this way, we can see that Prithu Maharaj, okay, Prabhupada is also saying. Similarly, Prithu Maharaj, although a Shaktyavesh avatar incarnation, still behaved exactly as a devotee in order to achieve the position of Prabhu, right? So this is setting the personal example that is very important. No, otherwise, Prithu Maharaj would have just come and then ordered around people and then gone back. So it would have not been very successful because people want some example to see. People want some practicals to see. So that is when they will be able to pick up and practice. So this makes the devotee association all the more very important. So we can read Bhagavad Gita from home, like attend a Zoom class and things like that. Until unless we see a devotee, we be with a devotee, it is not possible for us to pick up everything very nicely. That's very, very important. To have a personal example, physical personal example is very, very important. Otherwise, it's very difficult to practice Krishna consciousness. Right? And then here it is mentioned about, furthermore, Swarupastaha means complete liberation. As it is said, Hitvanyata Rupam Swarupena Vyavastitihi. When a living entity abandons the activities of Maya and attains the position from which he can execute devotional service, his state is called Swarupastaha or complete liberation. Muktur Hitvanyata Rupam Swarupena Vyavastitihi. So that means Mukti or liberation means to be existing on, to become reinstated in his own Swarupa, and Swarupa is to be a servant of the Lord, or in general, it is mentioned as the servant of the Lord, and it can also be extended to the parenthood or the friendship or the conjugal love. So all has its element of servitude in it. So in general, we can call all of them as to become servant of the Lord. So Muktir Hitva Anyata Rupam. So what do the people, the Jnanis and other people call as Mukti? They are actually not Mukti. That is very nicely mentioned in the sloka. Vimukta Manina. They think that they are liberated. So, and falsely it is called as mukti, but actually it is not mukti. Why it is not mukti? Because they are not still re-established in their swarupa, that is to be engaged in the service of the Lord. So they have got liberated from the material nature. That is not a big deal. So it is like a thief is there. Some 10 people caught the thief, and somehow he avoided them and he escaped. So that's like, he got liberated from those 10 people. So, but then police will catch him, FIR will get booked on him, everything will happen. So escaping small this ones and escaping a little bigger problem, that is getting out of this material world. It is not really an escape. Real mukti, real relief from all problems is to be engaged in the service of the Lord. Muktir Hitva Anyata Rupam Swarupena Vyavastitihi. So even to consider that I am liberated from the material nature and I am situated in Brahma Jyoti, it is Anyata Rupam. It is not Swarupa, it is Anyata Rupam. So one has to be established in Swarupa, that is the service unto the Supreme Lord. Otherwise it is not possible for him to for him to be called as Swarupastaha, so to be situated in one's own original position. Right? So I stop here. Any questions or comments we can take?
there's one comment saying a very wonderful point about the Lord having all experiences first and then giving us the understanding and realization about what we are going through.
Hari Hari.
This Sudha Mataji.
Hare Krishna. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, गौर भक्तवृंद की जय।